Mythical creatures have captured the human imagination for thousands of years. From sea monsters to fire-breathing dragons, these beings appear in ancient stories from every corner of the world. But what if many of these legends weren't just fiction? What if some mythical creatures were inspired by real-life animals, fossils, or misunderstood encounters? In this video, we'll explore 7 mythical creatures that may have actually existed. Not exactly as the myths describe, but in ways that make the legends surprisingly believable. Let's begin with the Kraken. This enormous sea monster, feared by sailors across Scandinavia, was said to drag ships into the depths of the ocean. While the idea sounds absurd at first, there's a real creature that could explain it: the giant squid. These deep-sea animals can reach lengths over 40 feet and have powerful tentacles lined with suckers. In the past, no one had proof of their existence, but rare encounters, especially with dead squids washing ashore, likely fuel the Kraken myth. When you're out in the middle of the ocean and something huge brushes against your boat, it's easy to imagine a monster rising from below. Next, let's talk about dragons. These legendary beasts show up in cultures from China to Europe, often described as flying reptiles with fiery breath. While dragons as we know them never existed, the idea may have emerged from something real: dinosaur fossils. Imagine ancient people stumbling upon massive bones with sharp teeth and long claws buried in the earth. Without scientific tools to explain them, it's no surprise they imagined terrifying creatures. Large lizards and crocodiles may have also added to the belief that such monsters once roamed the earth. Moving on to unicorns, gentle, mystical creatures known for their single spiraled horn. They have appeared in legends for centuries and are often associated with purity and magic. But what sparked the idea of a horse with a single horn? Some experts believe the legend may have been inspired by the oryx, a type of antelope with 2 long, straight horns. Seen from the side, they can appear as one. Others point to the rhinoceros, particularly the Indian rhino, as a likely source. And then there's the extinct Elasmotherium, a giant, hairy, one-horned relative of the modern rhino. All of these could easily have become the basis for unicorn myths, told by travelers and merchants. The Griffin is another creature steeped in legend, part lion, part eagle. This mythical guardian of treasure was believed to live in distant, unknown lands. Interestingly, the Griffin myth may have been inspired by ancient fossil discoveries. In Central Asia, particularly in what is now Mongolia, the remains of a dinosaur called the Protoceratops were often found near gold deposits. The creature had a beaked face and a body roughly the size of a lion. To ancient miners unfamiliar with dinosaurs, these bones might have seemed like evidence of a half-lion, half-bird guardian of treasure. That's how myth and paleontology could intersect. Let's talk about Cyclopes, the one-eyed giants from Greek mythology. In the Odyssey, Odysseus faces a Cyclops named Polyphemus, a terrifying being with immense strength. But there's a strange twist to this legend. Fossils of ancient dwarf elephants found on Mediterranean islands have large central nasal openings in the skull. To someone unfamiliar with elephants, this could easily look like a giant skull with a single eye socket in the center of the forehead. Combine that with the isolated nature of island cultures, and you've got the perfect recipe for a monster legend. Mermaids are another fascinating case. Half human, half fish, these sea creatures have been described by sailors around the world. From Greek sirens to Caribbean water spirits, mermaid tales have been around for centuries. But many historians and marine biologists think that exhausted sailors may have mistaken manatees or dugongs for mermaids. These large, gentle marine mammals have rounded heads, long tails, and flipper-like arms. Seen from a distance, especially after weeks at sea with little food or water, the mind could easily turn an unfamiliar animal into a mythical beauty. And finally, we have the werewolf. Humans who transform into wolves, usually during a full moon. The legend of the werewolf has roots in medieval Europe and remains popular in pop culture today. But some real conditions could explain the myth. Rabies, for example, causes aggression, confusion, and even fear of water or light, symptoms that resemble animal behavior. Another condition, hypertrichosis, causes extreme hair growth all over the body, giving people a wolf-like appearance. And then there's clinical lycanthropy, a rare psychological disorder where individuals believe they are transforming into animals. These real human experiences could have been exaggerated or misunderstood, eventually giving rise to the werewolf legends. What these examples show is that many myths may have been born from a combination of real-world observation, imagination, and storytelling. Fossils, strange animals, and misunderstood diseases helped spark some of the most enduring legends in human history. While the creatures themselves might not be exactly real, the inspirations behind them certainly were. That's what makes mythology so fascinating. It's a window into how ancient people made sense of the world around them. If you enjoyed this journey through myth and science, consider subscribing for more videos that connect ancient stories with real-world evidence. There's always more to discover when you look beneath the surface of legends.